Hey everybody, Joanna here. Today we're going to talk to you guys about regenerative farming. We're going to tell you a little bit about what it is and our whys to why we are going that direction. So for starts, the reason I have gotten excited about regenerative farming is actually from Abby. She went to Polyface Farms, which she'll talk about on her side of things. But she went to Polyface Farms. When she returned, she was telling me about her experiences, what she learned, and I found it extremely interesting. It all made really good sense to me and inspired me thinking about what I wanted to do on our homestead here. From there, I started watching different YouTubers, started reading different books on regenerative farming, and it just continued to spur my excitement about it. And so that's really where I began. And so Abby, I'm going to let you take it.
Okay. So I first learned about regenerative farming after I was given a book from my aunt called You Can Farm by Salton. And it inspired me and sparked the desire in me to not just dream about farming, but to actually do it. Mm-hmm. And so through the next couple of years then, I went through some physical, spiritual, and a mindset change on how I view everything and what I value. And so during that time period, I got the opportunity to go to Joel Salatin's for his 2-day intensive discovery school, which was very intensive. The food was excellent, and being able to hear what he was teaching about and then being able to see that being put into action and seeing the results from that was truly astounding to me and really spurred me on to do regenerative farming. And I've since been blessed with the opportunity to use my grandparents' farm and put those principles into practice. And I'm now seeing some of the benefits of that and seeing that farm come back alive and stuff. It has been awesome to see and stuff. And in the recent years, we've planted 15 acres back into pasture, and our hopes for this coming spring is to get dry heifers put on, and I'll also be starting my starter flock of sheep and growing lambs, and doing also pastured broiler chickens. And it's going to be a quite interesting year because it's all really new to me, actually getting to work with animals and stuff. So our future is bright and exciting, and I'm looking forward to the diversity that I'm going to see on the farm eventually and stuff.
And when we talk about regenerative farming between Abby and me, Abby does a lot of hers through the animals, and I do a lot of mine more through the garden side of things. Mm-hmm. However, something we're going to talk about, and one of the topics, is diversity. And that is a big part to regenerative farming. We'll explain that all in another video. But Abby has a lot of diversity when it comes to animals, and I'm going to have a lot of diversity when it comes to my garden, but I'm also going to have animals, and she's also going to have a garden and plants. So it all kind of works together. It's really interesting. So Abby, can you tell us what regenerative farming means, like what the definition is?
Yes, so the definition for regenerative farming basically is it focuses on rebuilding organic matter and a living biodiversity in our soil, which in the end then produces, nutrient-dense foods for us and for animals.
Right, and so as we, over the next few videos, over the next few weeks, we will talk about specific topics and when people are using regenerative practices, what that might look like. Some of those topics are dirt versus soil. Another one is grass-fed versus grain-fed, regenerative versus commercial, which that one you will definitely get ideas of when you drive by a farm, whether it's a regenerative farm or if it's a commercial farm, and just kind of the benefits and all that. And then diversity versus monoculture, which is what I just talked about a second ago. That is a big idea with regenerative farming, and maybe one of my favorite parts. Dirt versus soil and diversity versus monoculture are two huge reasons why I got into regenerative farming. So next thing we're going to talk about is our kind of why behind it and what gives us hope with regenerative farming. I know for me, Alex and I, when we decided we wanted land and we wanted to try farming, we have 7 acres, and it doesn't seem like you could do a whole lot on 7 acres, but with regenerative farming, you can do so much with 7 acres. And so we are looking at ways to where we can feed our family with good, healthy, nutritious food, chemical-free. We can have chickens and cows and pigs and a garden. We can do it all on just our 7 acres. And we can continue to have healthy, good soil by doing it. And the other thing, which is something I've talked about in other videos, and you'll hear a lot if you continue to follow me and watch my videos, I like to go natural. That's just something that deep down in my heart, I tend to want to do things the more natural way. And through regenerative farming, you're being stewards of the land. You are using natural methods and practices to feed your animals, to feed your garden. And that just speaks to me in a way that, I don't know, it just does. And the other thing, which through lots of books that I've read, and Abby actually mentioned it once to me before, is regenerative farming talks a lot about leaving the land better than the way you got it. And having my 2 girls, knowing that Alex and I can create something pretty cool here and leave it better for them, that just really inspires me too. How about you, Abby?
So for me, I would have to say that learning about regenerative farming and having the new mindset that I have now, I have this different outlook on life. It's exciting to me. It's bright. You know, I look forward to getting up in the morning and taking care of animals. And as Joanna said, being a good steward of the land and being able to leave that to the next generation and beyond. And for my community, being able to see it become vibrant again and stuff, that to me that means a lot to be able to see that. And it's also the fact that, you know, I mentioned before about going through some physical problems and stuff, and it's realizing and understanding that I can actually heal my body, that through nutrient-dense foods, I can actually do that. And, you know, also understanding too that I don't have to have other people's hands in my pocket, that I can be the one to write the back of a check instead of the front of a check, that I don't have to go with the whole mainstream farming idea of you have to get big and get out and stuff, that there is a different way to farming, and it has inspired me to do it. So.
And you brought up a good point about community that I also have realized through regenerative farming, that YouTubers that I watch, the books, Polyface Farms, community, they are very open and they want to tell you more. They want you to come see their farms. They want to show you their secrets. Like, it's a really cool thing, and that's something where I think we all could use a lot more community. And so we'll probably talk about that in another video, but when you brought that up, I really wanted to say that regenerative farming is huge community, and I love that about it. So lastly, I'm just going to share some resources with you guys. If you are interested in learning more, documentaries, books, podcasts, whatever that Abby and I have actually read or listened to that we absolutely recommend. Documentary-wise, I know Kiss the Ground just came out this last year. I guess last year, yeah. That one was really good. I think you can watch it on Amazon Prime, but excellent documentary talking about regenerative farming and how it applies today. And then The Biggest Little Farm was actually the first documentary I watched on regenerative farming, and that inspired me so much. And I so badly want to have The Biggest Little Farm. So that's another good one. Joel Salton is an author. They've done videos. Does he have a podcast too, or?
He does not have a podcast. He has what he calls is the lunatic blog.
Okay, a blog.
Yes.
So he has a lot out there about regenerative farming. All of his books are good.
Yes.
Abby has read more than I have, but the ones I've read have been amazing. The Marvelous Pigness of Pigs was the first one I read. Highly recommend that one.
It's a must.
And then I know Folks, It Ain't Normal is another book. You Can Farm is the one you talked about. It was the first one that Abby read that got her into regenerative farming. So anything by Joel Salton, you can't go wrong there. I just got done reading Animal Vegetable Miracle. That was a great book. What are some other ones, Abby?
Dirt to Soil by Gabe Brown. That is an excellent read, a must read. Come Back Farms by Greg Judy is also really good. Let's see here.
I think Greg Judy has some other things out too that are really good.
He does, yes. He has a YouTube channel that is also really good. Yes.
Oh, and websites. Understanding Ag is a great resource.
It is.
Just anything you could think about. Understanding Ag is probably going to have some kind of article or video or something to help you out. Anything else we can think of?
None right now.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us. Next video we will be talking about dirt versus soil, and looking forward to it.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.